All right, what's up, guys? Tyler
How you
here,
doing?
Tyler York. You got Casey Breyer here.
That's
Of
me.
course, your wonderful host here, Darren Breyer. You're here to do the '98 redraft. I've declared myself the winner of the last two drafts. I feel like you guys have been somewhat behind that, so that's encouraging.
I gave you the last one. I didn't give you the last two.
Well, I'm gonna pretend that maybe you feel that way, Casey. It's either me or you out of the other one, I guess. So that wins.
What? I won the other one.
I don't know. It's questionable.
Casey had the worst draft possible 2 times ago.
Yeah, that's true. He
We
did.
don't need
Casey did.
He did not win that one. So it was.
I think the
won.
Finley Stackhouse Berry '96 backcourt, I think, is a little too much for your Garnett. Garnett and Theo
And who?
And Eric Snow and Bob Sura. I think that backcourt is just not good enough. I think that.
Who was my second pick?
You had Bob Sura and Eric Snow in your backcourt. You had Theo. You had Kevin Garnett, and I believe you had another big in there too, but I can't think of it right now.
It was it was the best big other than Garnett.
The best big?
Well, he was like defensive player of the year.
Oh, Theo.
No. I don't know.
We gotta look this up. Theo. I thought you had Sharif too.
No, that was last draft.
That was the last one. Okay, so '96. Let's see.
I have themes to my team. That team was strictly a defensive team. My team last time was a running.
Yeah, I want to know now. Now I'm curious. Who was your guy here that we had? If my internet would work here, I could actually find out who you had. But for some reason, it's not doing the job I need to do.
Look up your bigs.
Did you have Rasheed Wallace?
No, Casey did.
Casey had. Let's see. You have Antonio McDyess?
Yeah.
So McDyess would have been your guy. Maybe. Would have been a good game. Would have been a good game. All right, so we got the '98 draft here. This is kind of an interesting draft.
You draft the Jackers. This guy can shoot. High points totals, and that's all they do.
We probably would be not a very good defensive team, I will say that. This '98 draft, I kind of remember for a couple of reasons. I remember it for being excited for the draft because the Warriors had the 5th pick and thinking they would get a pretty good player because I thought it was a pretty decent draft at the time, coming out. And it turned out to be a pretty good draft. Not always the players I thought would be the best players at the time. And the Warriors ended up taking Antoine Jameson, who at the time I liked because he had a pretty good college career. I think at the time was
National Player of the Year.
Yeah, I want to say it was National Player of the Year. So I was actually okay with that pick. So I just remember as a Warriors fan, kind of being excited, and then as the season played out, being a little bit more disappointed when I turned out they traded Vince Carter
quick
for him.
We found out.
So that's kind of my memory of the '98 draft here. Casey, we're going to give you got the first pick this time. Tyler, you're going to get the second pick, and I'm going to get the third pick. So, Case, I'm pretty sure, you could surprise me, but I'm pretty sure I know who your first pick is going to be.
You've always been a big fan of the truth.
And maybe you read a book on him, so I'm not sure. So let's who you go with on this one?
You gotta stay.
He was stabbed a bunch of times. There's a good backstory.
I have to go with the man that almost went to Cal University, but ended up deciding to declare for the NBA draft. So I'm going with
the University of Cal Berkeley.
Dirk Nowitzki, obviously Hall of Famer.
He's terrible in the playoffs, you said.
He did say that. Could that have been the liqueur talking at the time?
I'm a little bit
we
more.
We all say crazy things at times like that, Tyler.
You got to forgive. The past is the past. But I'll go with the big Dirk and
the Fatboy fade, his version.
A little more effective than your version.
Yes.
No offense.
His resume pretty much speaks for itself. 14-time All-Star, 2010, 11 champion, 12-time All-NBA. Average for his career, 20 points and 7 rebounds. And then his best
Finals MVP.
Finals MVP. And his best game, what I looked up, I didn't realize how good of a rebounder he was. But he had 53 points and 18 rebounds in one game.
Somebody has to get those. No, I'm just kidding.
He did have he had 4 20-point rebound games. And then when I looked up his playoff stat, I was a little bit taken back. I was hard on him, but his best playoff game was 50 points and 21 rebounds. So
He was unreal in the playoffs, other than that Warriors series.
yeah. So
yeah, that was a weird series. That one. He's a six all-time leading scorer too. I mean, it doesn't mean ton as much, maybe anymore as much as some people, but it's still pretty good. Six, pretty impressive.
A lot.
yeah.
Well, some people like in the NBA, like Jordan, probably be higher than 5 or something like that. But yeah,
Well,
he's still obviously that shows he was a great scorer. I just remember him for him. The one thing I liked about Dirk was his ability to obviously shoot the three as a big, but then I just liked it. He was for kind of being that European kind of, I guess, what would you say, kind of
Soft.
They kind of were like, oh, they'll be soft and stuff. But man, he was tough in the playoffs. Like his driving game was clutch, and I always just gained a lot of respect for him when he played the Spurs. I felt like when he kind of built his bumps along the way, he hit a lot. He just hit so many big shots against them during the playoffs, and then when his hair started to grow out, he got even clutcher.
Was he the first great European, other than Drazen Petrovic, but the first?
I feel like for me, he's the first one that really sticks out. That
Ginobili was
I think
around that time, but he's better than Ginobili.
Because wouldn't you say, as all the Europeans were that's the first guy we would take. We wouldn't take anybody else. You wouldn't take Yao Ming. You're not taking, you're not taking any of these guys.
We're talking about
just no, it's not.
Foreigners. He's the first.
No, it's
foreigner.
not even close.
Really? Hakeem.
It's not even
Hakeem.
Hakeem Olajuwon. Oh, in terms of over there, yeah, I guess.
What do you mean? China counts, but Africa doesn't?
No, I'm saying it's true, but he doesn't have as many points as Nowinski. He's 11.
Player. I don't care about that. I mean, I do. I mean, they'll back up an argument, but
no, Nowinski's definitely got to be one of the best players of all. He's definitely one of the best power forwards of all time, at least scoring for sure.
Well, lower you said best, but who's better, him or Garnett? All time.
Oh, definitely. I'd take Nowinski over him.
I think he has a better resume, but I think Garnett's I'd rather have for one game.
I think I'll take Nowinski because I always kind of like the guy. I mean, Garnett is a great player. So the one thing about him, though, is you can kind of facilitate certain things around him. But the thing I like about Nowinski, for me, is I kind of like somebody that I know can get 25 points a game. There's something that's kind of nice about that part of it. I don't know. That's kind of where my mind goes. But I think they're both great players. So
you do emphasize the points.
Huh?
You do emphasize points.
That's for me, I guess, is it's nice to have somebody where you're not having to worry about struggling how to get points all the time. It's just kind of, you know what I mean? He was so good, at shooting, and his mid-range game was just so money. He was the thing I remember about him that I love what Dallas would do is that not the Avery Johnson Dallas team as much, but the other ones is that when they would get the ball to him right around that free throw line, it was basically unstoppable because he got so good that he could take one dribble right and fade back, or he would just jab step you and then rock back with his left foot. And you really were at his mercy.
It was kind of like Michael Jordan's, how he would do but it was way different. But just they could get balanced.
And the thing I also liked about Nowinski was his passion.
Yeah, and ironically, I mean, it's kind of hard to believe when you look at that draft, but he was selected 9th
by originally the Milwaukee Bucks and traded for Robert Tractor Trailer and a few other picks. That's what it was. So he ended up on. So Tractor Trailer ended up on Milwaukee, and then he got
one of the worst trades.
The Nelsons did a good job on that trade. Well done, Don. Well done. All right, so Nowinski, Casey, you're off to a good start.
He did have one of the ugliest haircuts on draft night.
Yes, he did. The bleach hair.
That means a lot coming from you.
Thank you. Alan Henderson would be proud of their back of the day. All right, and Jason Caffey as your shooting guard. That's still my favorite pick of all time. All right, Tyler, you got the second pick.
I'll take the truth.
The truth.
He has a Finals MVP to his name as well.
He would be on the he wouldn't be on the Clippers. Nowinski would have been on the Clippers, and so Pierce would have been on the. He would have been excited. The Vancouver Grizzlies.
And he was clutch. I never really.
He was clutch.
His game wasn't exciting to me. He never really I don't know. I wasn't a big. He was better than I gave him credit for throughout his career. Maybe because I hated the Celtics. What?
Yeah, he was kind of a methodical player too.
Yeah, he was very methodical, but he surprised you with some athletic things every once in a while.
Yeah, he was strong.
I mean, shot
Casey, you liked him
wasn't the prettiest looking thing.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite players just because he was so. I don't know. He was just a gamer. He was fundamentally just.
He was clutch too.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah, and I think I liked it, but he also had that kind of different than Nowinski, but he also kind of was good around that free throw, college 3-point, mid-range, middle part of the court game. Remember, that was always his go-to move at the end of the game, try to get to that elbow on the right side, and then he would lean back. Yeah, and that always seemed to be his game-winning shot. The thing I kind of liked about Pierce, though, it's kind of hard for me not to always laugh just to think about him getting wheelchaired off in that finals and then carried off.
Remember when Ron Artest pantsed him?
Yeah.
He was coming off his screen and he's just like, the heck?
He says some stupid things now though on TV.
He's an idiot. He's one of the worst.
What do you say?
I was gonna say that. I wouldn't take him as a commentator, but
yeah, he doesn't say the most intelligent things there.
He was a better shooter than Klay Thompson.
No, for sure. All right, so Tyler, you got Paul Pierce. That's looking pretty good. That leaves me.
You have the Warriors conundrum.
Just for sake of argument here, Rafe LaFrentz was the 3rd overall pick. I'm gonna take
taking Rafe.
They chose the wrong white guy.
Rafe was the 3rd overall pick from Kansas.
Out of what university?
Somehow he went 7 picks higher than Paul Pierce. I'm gonna go with Vince Carter, Vinsanity. Kind of for me, Vince was a really kind of an interesting player. Like his career is going to tell you he's a great player, but I'm not really sure how good his prime years were. I feel like they're kind of overrated. Like I almost would rather have like Gilbert Arenas' prime years than him. I feel like Gilbert Arenas was better than Vince Carter. You know what I mean? He was clutcher, and he was.
I feel like Vince got worse as his career went on, almost. Like
I don't think he never lifted weights either. He was just like
4th year were great, like his best years.
I mean, he put up the stats. I think it would have benefited him more if he was not drafted by Toronto.
I mean, he was on fire.
You could tell he didn't want to be there. I thought mostly.
He was 8-time All-Star and 2-time All-NBA.
That's it.
And yeah,
I thought he had
at the beginning of his
All-Stars than that.
I
thought he was getting voted in when he didn't deserve it.
He made it from age 23 to age 30 every year, and then he never made it. He's never made it since. So the last 11 years, he's never made it.
That's kind of what I was saying about it. He got worse as he got older.
Yeah, he has. I mean, his points kind of stayed the same, and his 3-point. He was always a good 3-point shooter, and he had some clutch moments in the playoffs too. But he always had some weird moments too. Like I remember like the thing where he left to like North Carolina to get like some like kind of
before Game 7
paper. Yeah, I mean like stupid.
I mean, it was his
degree. That. Yeah, but I mean at the same time, it's like I don't know. I just thought it was kind of.
I mean, I understand too. Like you called it a pointless like.
Well, not saying his degree is pointless, but it was. I mean, he didn't have to be there necessarily to get what he was. You know what I mean? Other than
you don't need to partake in the ceremony to.
I'm not ripping him necessarily for that part of it. Yeah, but that was a weird deal. I remember at that time going on, and then the other thing that he had some. I remember with him about is I felt like he never seemed like he was happy anywhere. Did you guys ever get that feeling from him too? Like I never really felt like Toronto. He was fully engaged there, and then when he ended up in New Jersey, it just I don't know. It never seemed like he was like really. It always felt like he was at places for a while, but it felt like he always was going to be moved somewhere. It felt like he was in trade talks a lot.
He seems the happiest in Atlanta right now.
He kind of like just seemed mopey and like he didn't care.
Yeah, I know that probably wasn't the case, but
he started jacking up like way too many threes as he got older. Not that he was a bad 3-point shooter; he was a good 3-point shooter, but
definitely by far, in my opinion, by far the best game dunker we've ever seen. And I mean, I've never had a better.
He's the best.
dunker.
He's the best.
I mean, there's
Dunk
nobody
contest
better.
dunker.
The only guy better at dunking I've ever seen is this Jason Killsman's guy from Canada or something on YouTube.
Yeah,
That's the only other better dunker I've seen. But that's not game dunking.
Yeah, I mean, he has the famous over the 7-footer.
French
That
guy.
one. He just has so many. My favorite one is
But
his
he has the best
alley-oop.
dunk
His
contest
alley-oop windmill.
ever.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think Gerald Green did it better.
Yeah, and Richard. I always feel like Richardson gets overlooked in some of his dunk contests.
He had
All
good
right,
dunk contests.
Casey, back to you. Fourth pick overall. You had Dirk the first time. Who are you going with here?
I'm gonna go with he's more of a small forward, but I'm gonna go with Antoine Jameson.
Antoine,
He's more of a power forward.
borderline Hall of Famer somehow.
Yeah,
not
but
a
if I'm going with my team though, I'm playing him at the small forward and Dirk at the power. So
You can play Dirk at the center.
But
yeah, but I mean Antoine, he kind of had a subtly kind of like low key because him and Vince Carter were always compared to each other, and
they played nothing alike.
No, exactly, and I mean I think the expectations were just too high for when he went in. Granted, I mean he was the fourth pick, so you're gonna have high expectations. And like Tyler said, National Player of the Year, but you could tell as his game went on, he was a very good. He would have been like the perfect third man on like a championship team. And
He played 5
I
years
bet he has
for
a
the
very
Warriors.
high per.
so I mean he was 2-time All-Star. Not saying much, but I mean 98, 99 All Rookie
I
team.
forgot about the Wizard years.
He
Those
kind of
were the best
reinvented
years,
him.
too.
He kind of reinvented himself on the Wizards when it was him and Arenas
Yeah,
and
Braun.
Deshaun
Braun.
Stevenson.
I was
Braun
kinda-
Butler.
I was kind of surprised in 2003, 2004. He actually won Sixth Man of the Year.
I knew he won that. I didn't know what year though.
And then
That was on Dallas, right?
But then when you look at like his best season for points, he did have basically 25 points for that year.
on the Warriors. Gosh, that was one of the Warriors' worst seasons ever, 2000, 2001 too. Yeah, he was,
I mean,
without him, that would have been an unwatchable team.
Yeah.
Even with him.
And then
That's what I mean.
his best game was 51 points and 19 rebounds. So
Yeah.
With Kobe.
Yeah, no, he started to really like those Wizards years. He really was a solid player. And the one thing about him is that shot, that little right-handed little floater shot. It was like a half hook. He was so money with that shot. Remember that? He would get to the lane and like.
And it was a quick little release.
Yeah, he had like quick little push
it was like a flip,
shot.
It was like a flip shot almost.
It was that shot alone. You could see why he won National Player of the Year in college though, because
that's a great college shot.
like a hand, like he's way better than Hansborough, right? But like he has kind of that like just touch around the hoop. A player like him, you can just see how he dominated probably in college, just because he could score so easily around the hoop. And in college, he got a lot of rebounds.
And he had some subtle athletic ability to him too. It wasn't just.
But it wasn't like it was weird athletic. It was like quick twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like jumping high or running fast, but like.
Yeah, I don't remember him from any spectacular dunks or anything, but I'm sure he had a few there too. Tyler, who you got?
I'll take my boy. Brought me a national championship in college. Bibby. Another guy who I don't know. He's like Bibby.
We gotta know why you like the guy.
Well, he went to Arizona.
Yeah, well, he can run. He can shoot.
Once again, I feel like I draft guys I didn't root for all the time. Like I hated him.
He has the most assists in this draft class, 5,517. That means this was not a very good. That surprises me. He has more assists than White Chocolate.
The most overrated NBA player of all time.
White Chocolate.
White Chocolate.
Well, assuming you're not going to take
Chris Webber acts like he's a Hall of Famer. Anyway, we're on to Bibby. Bibby, he had good years on the Hawks.
Did he make the All-Star? Never made an All-Star team.
No.
It never. He averaged 20 points one time. Yeah, no, he was a solid player. He really took the Kings to the next level, though. Just that ability to shoot and more under control with the Kings.
And not turn the ball over as much.
No, for sure. He was fun to watch on those teams. Yeah, he was pretty clutch too.
He was very good in the 3-on-3 league.
He's getting huge now. He's like so buff now. He's like a bodybuilder.
I think some of those are like
He's roids now.
Altered pictures.
I mean, he looks pretty huge to me when I saw him in an interview with Nate Robinson.
Yeah?
Yeah, he looks pretty jacked. Like he said, he's working out like 5 hours a day at the gym. So he's probably.
But
I'm sure
he also beat Antoine Jamison and Vince Carter in the Final Four.
Yes,
Or maybe the Elite Eight.
Elite Eight.
One of the two.
His dad used to coach at USC.
Well, Michael Dickerson was a big part of that.
Yeah, he was.
Yes, he
And
was.
Jason Terry.
Those 4 points in the
He was
national
the
final.
only team to take down 3 number ones.
That's true. They were. All right, I'm gonna go with the 6th pick. I'm gonna take one of my favorite video game guys ever. I'm gonna go with Rashard Lewis. He would at least get 10 threes a game with me.
I had him listed above Bibby, but I just had to take Bibby.
So I'm going Lewis and Vince. I feel like Lewis would be. I mean, he would be even better now. Like he still played in this era, but he would even be like. Could you imagine now, like just coming in the league now? He could be like. He would definitely be somebody a team.
I don't think he's good enough to be better. Like I think he got the max out of him.
Are you?
It's not like he was never jacking up.
What I mean by better is that he would be shooting. He shot a lot of threes for that era, and he was a pretty good shooter, and he would shoot even more. Remember
I don't think you want him shooting more. He's not that good of a shooter.
I mean, he
was.
In my
opinion, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I mean,
he finished his career as basically a 39% 3-point shooter. That's not horrible. And
no, he's not horrible at all. But I don't.
To me, he's like your typical.
I don't think his 3-point shooting would have got better with more shots. Or like
probably not, but I think he would have. I just think he would have been even more. I think his just type of play is the type of players that every team's looking for now, and so he would probably even. I just think he could have flourished a little bit more. But he had some good seasons. He averaged 20 points many times. He was jacking up threes early. He was one of the first guys to shoot like 6 to 7 a year.
I was kind of surprised to find out he was a 2-time All-Star too.
Yeah,
he got one of the worst contracts in NBA history.
I think that's what kind of what.
I remember I was
bit him a little there. 2012 champ with Miami.
Yeah, I was watching a Warriors Classic game against him and the Seattle Sonics, and it was funny watching that team when they had Luke Ridnour and Luke Jackson. I was just like, man, and they're like,
Luke Jackson was on that team.
No, excuse me, Nick Collison.
Yeah, okay.
I got confused. They had a lot of white players on that team, and but
Vladimir Radmanovich.
Yeah, and I remember Jim Barnett saying this is going to be the most coveted player coming into free agent. And I was like, that's kind of weird.
He was always a high potential guy, like.
Little overrated.
And then he got the contract, and he didn't really meet.
Kind of a 3 or bust guy.
He did.
He did help. He did help the Magic get to the finals.
I mean, yeah.
All right, Chase, back to you. I got Vince and Lewis. I'm a heavy 3-point shooting team right now. Casey, you have Dirk and who else?
I have Dirk and I have Antoine,
baby.
So I'm gonna go lower in the draft.
Bibby and Pierce.
I'm gonna go real low in the draft. I'm gonna go with the 41st pick with Katina Mobley.
What's wrong?
So I don't know. 98, 99, all rookie. He averaged 16 points per game for his career. So I mean, obviously we actually got to watch him in his rookie year in the game that we watched and covered. And
Shaq sent him back to Rhode Island.
You can tell he was pretty raw though. But as his career went, he actually had some pretty good games. So I don't know. I think he was pretty solid.
Yeah, I just remember him and Steve Francis playing together.
And and for 1 year I was kind of surprised. I didn't realize he was actually a pretty good scorer. And 01 and 02 he actually averaged 21 points for the year. So
him and Moochie Norris made up a nasty left-handed backcourt.
Moochie. But yeah, no.
Aaron, you look dead.
I'm trying. I got Hannah talking to me in the background here. I'm trying to
know your role. Just kidding.
Basically, it went a little long for her. So we'll try to speed this up for my wife.
Yeah, all right, let's go.
Let's go with. I'm gonna go.
It's my pick.
Oh yeah, that's right. So you go then.
I'll go with Mad Brad Miller. anyone who's willing to take on Shaq, there's a spot for me on your. There's a spot for them on my team.
All right, so Brad Miller. The thing about
He
Brad
had
that
some
was
good
good.
years where he was one of the best passing big men. And
He was.
I don't know the stats. I didn't look him up, but
No, he was good. He was a solid player for sure. I'm gonna go with Bonzi Wells.
man, I don't even have these players listed.
I'm gonna go with Bonzi Wells. So I'm gonna go with another guard here.
All right. I'm just gonna go rapid fire since we don't really need to go too much on Bonzi besides the headband.
But he was in a lot of legal trouble.
Yeah.
What, you picked him over the Kobe stopper?
Yes, definitely.
So,
Bonzi Wells could score more.
I'm gonna go with
that story.
I'm gonna go with the point guard here, and as Tyler's favorite overrated player of all time, Jason Williams. So I'll go with
I mean,
it's not a.
He's definitely in my top 15. I'm not like not a bad player. He's just not as good as some people.
No, it's not a bad pick at all.
Right.
The thing about White Chocolate though is he does have some pretty good highlights out there.
Oh yeah, exactly. His highlight reel is top notch.
Yeah, it is.
But I'd love to see the bad turnovers, like what that looks like. That's probably pretty funny too.
He probably has some really bad ones too, where he's like just throwing it out of bounds. He's like,
Who the heck did I write that?
Sure,
all right, T. Who
sure
you got?
playing basketball with Randy Moss, though.
Yeah, pretty much. T. Who you got?
I don't know what that says. I'll take Casey's favorite player, Larry Hughes.
Larry Pugh.
Larry
He
Hughes
got that good Catholic education at St. Louis
for 1 year over there.
and he went on to show how he just he could score.
He was also on those Wizards teams too. I forgot.
Yeah.
You know what's
He
surprising?
was LeBron's running mate.
That's right. He was LeBron's running mate.
You know what's surprising though is 04-05. He was the steal champion and made an all-defensive team.
I know, that's crazy. How did he
I
make
didn't
an all
even know he
defense?
tried on defense
How did he make an all defense? That surprises me.
because he led the league in steals.
But he averaged 14 points for his career. That surprises me too.
No, he had some 20-point years.
Yeah, that surprises me too.
He had five.
His career's not bad. He's just not someone you don't want to play with him. He's not.
He had for his best year was actually 22 points per game first season.
Yeah.
What team was that on?
I'm gonna say the Wizards.
Yeah, because he had 5 40-point games in his career. I didn't think he was that good, but he's still not that great. But
I'm gonna finally take a big and go with Al Harrington, even though he wasn't one of the best of all time. He's a big, and I could stretch him out.
Big Al.
So I'm gonna go Al Harrington.
Score.
So I got Wells, Vince, Lewis, and Al. So I think I might.
You have zero pass. Nobody on your team can pass the ball.
No.
You'd average 5 passes a game. Whoever inbounds it, you're getting the ball.
I better find a point guard here. All right, who you got, Case, for your last pick?
Man.
Who the heck is this? Sorry.
If we're playing in this era, I'd go with Michael Dickerson. But you guys will probably crush me for not having another big. So,
take a guard. Take a guard. Take the best player available.
Yeah,
that's
so
what
I'll take Dickerson. I'll take Dickerson because he only did play though 5 years in the NBA, which was kind of surprising. And then he did average though for his best year in 99-2000, 18 points. So
that is rookie year.
99. No, that was the year after.
Probably in Vancouver, huh?
So his second year. I was kind of surprised he only played 5. Though. I thought he played longer than that.
He got traded to Vancouver, and I feel he got hurt a lot after that.
So, but he did, like I said, he averaged 18 points for his career. It was a short career of 5, but he averaged 18. So.
All right, so that rounds up Casey's team. Pretty good team there. I think Dirk, Antoine. Who else we got? We got Jason Williams, right?
Yeah. Katina Mobley and Michael Dickerson.
All right,
man,
not bad.
I'm stuck on this last pick. I got nobody. I'll take the Kobe stopper. He had the ultimate. He had the ultimate confidence.
Michael.
That's about all I can say about him. Take Ruben Patterson.
I'm gonna take another guard here, a surprising one, just because I feel like
That's a good pick.
he was entertaining and he was a little out of control. And
Ricky
he
Davis?
had the triple double the most creative way ever. I'm gonna go with Ricky Davis with
I almost
the last pick here.
him and Bob
then-
Sura did the same thing.
And just for fun, I'm gonna also off the bench want to take Pat Garrity for 3-point shooting
all video game.
off the bench. So I'm gonna go with my all video game team here.
Another
Wells, Vince,
LeBron running
Lewis.
bait.
He would. I think I'd have in video game. I would probably have a chance to win. I think Dirk Nowitzki would probably murder me defensively on this team though.
Yeah, Casey won this one.
I think Casey won this. I think Dirk gives Dirk and the Antoine give you the two Hall of Famers, right, Tyler?
Stop saying that. Why do you keep pushing the narrative?
Because I keep hearing Antoine's going to be a Hall of Famer.
I never heard that till you started bringing it up.
That's what I keep hearing because he has
If he's a
20,000
Hall of
points and he's
Famer,
player of the year in college.
The looters should go loot the NBA Hall of Fame if he's a Hall of Fame.
Okay, this goes off NBA draft, but remember I brought it up to you that Nick Markakis could be the worst Major League Baseball player to probably ever make the Hall of Fame. There's a chance.
Well,
he has 2,500 hits.
Yeah.
So,
But he's not
Nick
getting in the Hall
Markakis,
of
Casey.
Fame.
Nick Markakis.
All right, guys. You guys, a good draft. 98.
There's
We'll see
no
us for
way
the
he'll
90
get in it. That's
We'll see you.
amazing.
We'll see you for the Ginobili 99 draft. Peace.
Thanks,
Later.
brother.
And